are sitting.
Okay. I think that I have to go there. Dearest friend, once again, and I'm very pleased to have you here as our guest. Actually, this session should be opened by or the president, Malak Husseini. I asked him, like, he told me that, no, you go there. It's, open this session because you are chairing the scientific meeting here. Therefore, now I'm open for the General Assembly. I'm very pleased and honored of all of you. And yesterday, I summarized what was it, the Middle East and the activities, early 80s, and now what is it today? Rashad is sitting there, and Ahad sitting there as well, and both of us put a lot of, effort and energy, and Marwan, don't sleep. I know you are thinking something. Well, anyhow, I was fortunate that we came to this goal. But it is not enough. Never think that this is Medical Society organ transplantation. Now, around almost 900 people registered, and plus probably 100 or the active patient is going to participate in the transplant game. Plus this, that means over 1,000 people are participating in this meeting. And this, 50 countries participated to this meeting. I'm going to read Algeria, Argentina, Australia, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Bulgaria, Bangladesh, Canada, Colombia, Croatia, Egypt, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, India, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Japan, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kenya, South Africa, South Korea, Kuwait, Kyrgyzstan, Lebanon, Libya, Macedonia, Mexico, Oman, Pakistan, Qatar, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Serbia, Spain, Sudan, Sweden, Switzerland, Syria, Taiwan, Tunisia, Turkey, Arab Emirates, UK, USA, and Yemen. I'm always thanks all of this country representatives. Thank you and appreciate. And special thanks almost every country. Examples, around 100 people from Iran, and it was 26 from Egypt, and 145 in Turkey, 53 in Saudi Arabia, and there's a different number, and 26 Jordan. I'm giving this especially the Jordan and Saudi and Egypt. When you look at the normal membership, active membership, this number, I mean, active member number, not really that much high. I'm sure that after this meeting, many of our colleagues will become a member and represent in our society. And important things, 31 colleagues from Azerbaijan, very Hikmet. But you know, it's when I established in the evolved in the medical and biomedical and the Academy of Medical, Biomedical, and Ethics. I divided all over the world in different regions. One of them was, and I can say in the Mid-Asia, and I decided to have the chairman for each region, and put Dr. God as chairman of this area, and Hikmet the co-chairman for him. And I really congratulate both of you. And Chordivan, Azerian, speaking Turkish language, and participate in this meeting. And also the Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, they started. It's very, very interesting, very important activities. I really congratulate both of you. And this is very important, the 50 countries and more than 1,000 people participated in this meeting. And my special thanks to Malek Husseini. Last 2 years, he has run the society, and the society gained and increased the number. And also, the General Secretary, Antoine Barbary, has both worked hard and improved the Mizat, and Mizat became really one of the very important society in transplantation field. Of course, our past president, all of past president, like Ahad, like Anwar, Adib, and Marwan, they started the society really is active, and they put a lot of energy. And at the beginning, Rashad, Aziz, and Dr. Fazel, and again, he mentioned yesterday that my very close friend, I can say, like my older brother, Dr. Bilgin, Dr. Büyük Pamukçu, and Mustafa Al-Musawi, they serve the society to improve the society, as much as possible. I'm always appreciate them. This is our society, my dearest friend. If every of our the member feel that this society, our society, I'm sure the number of members will increase, and every scientific meeting also will be more active. I participated in International Society meeting in San Francisco. More than 8,000 people, 8,000 members participated. 8,000 or 400 members that participated to this meeting. When we decided to have this meeting in Istanbul, I thought that at least in the 2,000 people will participate. But anyhow, at least more than 1,000 that participated. Yes, I always appreciate that. And then Dr. Anton Stefan, he is also one of the past president. Now he's working on some organ procurement, or also organ donation. And during the last meeting, we discussed about this MESAT and MEDCO. I think he's going to give some information about their activities. We have different committee, organ procurement, ethics. We realized that during the oral meeting, unfortunately, our committee, some of our committee, not really functioning well. They should be active. And our General Secretary is going to give you some information about this. Every society treasury is very important, it's because he's collecting, he's responsible for the economical activities for the society. I never ask Feza, do you have that much money? Otherwise, we couldn't be able to organize the meeting. But I'm asking her how many members we have, how many active members we have. I'm sure that she's going to explain to you how many members we have and how many really active members we have. Treasury is very important for every society, but I think she is now in comfortable condition. No one asking her how much money you have. You have to, pay that much money to this organization and etc. For instance, and no one asking her that it's now is experimental and clinical transplantation is going to publish. You have to pay that much money. Did I ask you, Feza, any question about this? No, I didn't ask, because we are publishing. Anyhow, I personally and in our organization trying to do our best for the society. And once again, I really thank you and congratulations, Dr. Ali Malik Husseini, Antoine Barbary, Feza, and the other colleague. And in the past, Dr. Bassam Said, he has put a lot of effort to set up the fellowship program, and the others or the executive member always appreciate you, but this activity is not enough. We have to work more. We have to work. I'm always saying 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because we need, all region need. I'm not saying that we need, activities for Turkey. I'm not saying you need, activities for the Pakistan, Iran, and the other countries, and Egypt, etc. But we have to work hard to improve all regional healthcare activities. Thank you all. Now I give a chance to all the General Secretaries. He is going to explain you or recent in the council meeting. Antoine?
Hello, everybody. Good to be here, and welcome for everybody. I will be reading the Secretary report, which will cover the activity of the MESOD from the last Congress in Abu Dhabi until our Congress, the 14th Congress in Istanbul. And I will start with the membership status. The current membership status since the last Congress held in Abu Dhabi is we have 399 total members. This issue will be covered more by the Treasurer report. We have 211 lifelong members, 184 regular members, 3 associate members, and 2 candidate non-physician members. As Mehmet have mentioned, there are the number of members and the percentage in the relation of the total of members per countries vary from one country to the other. The leading countries with significant number of significant number of members, as certainly Pakistan, Turkey, Jordan, Tunisia, Iran, of course Syria, and we have new members that from Azerbaijan, from Canada, from Germany, from Greece, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Algeria, Poland, and Qatar. Regarding the ECT journal, we have 6 issues are currently published per year, and an average of 20 articles per issue. Regarding the publishing proceedings, all abstracts in this Congress will appear. They did appear in the abstract book of the Congress, which will be published as a supplement to ECT. And for the submitted manuscripts, all participants have been offered the choice for the first time to choose between submitting to ECT or transplantation proceeding. Regarding the council meetings that were held over the last 2 years, 2 council meetings were held. One, both of them in Turkey, one in Ankara, and the other last one in Istanbul. And the following issues were discussed. We discussed mainly the MESOD bidding for 2016. And today, so we don't have to go through the details, the council decided today that an official letter will be sent through to Egypt through the country representative, Dr. Kamel, and this letter will be forwarded to the concerned Egyptian officials. The council will be expecting a letter of acceptance from Egypt with reassurances regarding the attendance of all participants without any exclusion. And in case this cannot be achieved, then the next MESOD 15 Congress will go automatically to Jordan. Regarding the MESOD Fellowship Program, some discussion also took place during our last council meeting before yesterday. And regarding, there was an issue which was the certificate of completion of the program. Many of those who had completed their program had requested certificate as they would be necessary on the return to their home country. And the MESOD, we decided, cannot provide an official certificate, as it is not an educational institution. And furthermore, there is no standardized system that all centers follow. And it would not be official unless approved by the Ministry of Health of the countries in question. As such, it was agreed that only certificate from training centers would need to be for a completion of a training program. So only the training centers will deliver the certificate of training. The MESOT for the time being decided not to deliver any kind of certificate. Regarding the MESOT registry, again, unanimously today, there were an official decision by all council members to start officially a registry for all the MESOT region. The person who will be heading the registry is Dr. Marwan Masri, and I think today he will give us a presentation about the initiation of the project. Regarding the collaboration with other societies, there were some attempt to do some collaboration with the ESOT upon the request from these specific societies, the TTS, as well as the Global Kidney Academy Transplantation online course. And regarding the TTS, the last meeting in Vienna, the ESOT, we had a MESOT session where 3 speakers from the MESOT was Dr. Faisal Shaheen, Dr. Malik Husseini, and Dr. Rizvi, who gave 3 lectures in the MESOT session. Regarding the TTS, we were invited by the TTS to participate as a MESOT, and I had the honor to represent the MESOT in Geneva. It was a meeting held in April to come up with recommendation regarding the disease donation in the pediatric population. And a paper will follow, probably several papers will follow regarding what came out of the proceeding of the meetings. Regarding the Global Kidney Academy Transplantation online course, this is as you know, many of you I'm sure know from the Middle East, this is a transplantation online course that was started by the Global Kidney Academy. And the course was already being announced on the MESOT website, and the issue whether or not MESOT should encourage its member to take part was raised. The course director, Dr. Majid Al-Nahas, had recently contacted me and asked me to participate as a lecturer in the course, and I will be representing the MESOT, and probably there will be other members from the MESOT. And it was generally agreed that the course was an excellent one with many followers already throughout the Middle East, and that encouraging it further would be the advantage of nephrologists in the region. And I think I went over the course. The courses, I think, will be excellent and very informative and very educational. Regarding the MESOT Council nomination, as you know, several council positions were to become vacant as of the end of Istanbul Congress. And a call for nomination was sent to all members in good standing, requesting nominations by May 20th, 2014, with deadline that was extended until July 31st of this year. And several MESOT members were nominated for these and were to become vacant positions. And the nominating committee met and made the following unanimous decision regarding these positions. For the position of officers, we have 2 positions, the President-elect and the Vice President. For the President-elect was chosen Dr. Bassam Saeed, and congratulations for this, but I will ask the General Assembly to confirm this. For the Vice President position, unfortunately, it was Ali Ubaidi from the Arab Emirates, but unfortunately Ali could not be with us because he had an unfortunate accident and he had a head trauma that required his hospitalization. So Ali Al-Ubaidi will be our Vice President for the next 2 years. Regarding the councillors, the region representative for the Gulf region, Dr. Yusuf Al-Maslamani was elected from Qatar as becoming the representative of the Gulf region. Is Dr. Maslamani here?
No, just coming from the
Okay. All right. So congratulations for Dr. Al-Maslamani. For Iraq, we have Dr. Iqdam Shakir. Is Dr. Iqdam here? Congratulations, Dr. Iqdam. For Iran, we have my friend Hassan Argani as the representative of Iran. Congratulations. And for Mid Asia, Azerbaijan was Dr. Hikmat Ismailov. The issue of Palestine joining the MESOT was also raised, and the council was informed that a place was available to them, and that all that what is required was an official letter of interest. However, this would not open the doors to Israel, as a membership had voted against allowing Israel into the society during the General Assembly meeting held in Tunis in 2010. And there is an amendment that was proposed by the nominating committee regarding changing the bylaws in this regard. The nominating committee has requested that the Mizot Council consider the proposal for the inclusion of the Mizot secretary and the chairman of the scientific committee in the nominating committee in order to take a part in deliberation for the nomination and selection of candidates for the Mizot Council. And this would require the approval of the General Assembly so it to be able to amend the bylaws. Do you agree on this? Could you raise hands, please? Okay, so accepted. Regarding the Mizot Awards, the Mizot announced the 3 Best Achievement Awards, Lifetime Awards, in the field of transplantation and organ donation. For the first award, it is the Mehmet Haberal Award. It was the Best Disease Donor. It was granted to Professor Faisal Shaheen from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Congratulations. For the Best Research Award, it was granted to myself. Thank you for being honored with this. And for the Best Achievement in Transplantation, it was granted to Professor Mustafa Al-Musawi from Kuwait and Professor Saman Mikabavalian from Shiraz. Congratulations to both. Please stand up. Had a lack of activity, which we discussed at length during our last meeting, and there are certain resolutions we'll be taking in the future to find a way to activate these committees. Now, the following, we have the following committees. The membership committee is headed by Dr. Feza Karakayali, which is our treasurer. The fellowship committee led by Dr. Mustafa Al-Musawi. The registry committee will be by Dr. Marwan Masri. The Educational and Scientific Committee by Dr. Anwar Naqvi, the Ethics Committee by Dr. Adib Rizvi, the Nominating Committee by Dr. Ali Malek Husseini, the Organ Procurement Committee by Dr. Faisal Shaheen, the Tissue and Cell Committee by Dr. Mitra Mahdavi Mazdi. And the Game Committee, this will be changing every time we have a Congress. It will be appointed by the chair of the Congress where the Congress will be held, the country where it will be held. We have also another amendment regarding the committees. In the previous bylaws, it was the president who was responsibility to appoint the chairs. The council asked the General Assembly to change this, that the committee chairs will be appointed by the council and will become accountable to the council instead of being to the president. This is also will require the approval of the General Assembly. Do you approve that? And finally, we have the Mizot-Medco collaboration. I guess there's a meeting tomorrow will be held. That's,
I think better can give him a chance to...
Antoine? Okay. Antoine, would you...
Okay, Antoine, would you explain on the, because you have different on the proposal.
I think we have a meeting tomorrow with between Medco and Mizot and Professor Haberal to try and solve this issue, and we are interested in having the Medco registered as an international association so that all the coordinators from all the countries would participate. Our idea is to have the input of all countries that have been working in organ donation and to have solutions for our region, specific for our region. So far, we know that Iran has had a very successful advance in organ procurement, and we want to learn from the experience of each other to improve this organ procurement process. And we're going to discuss tomorrow what we need and what things are missing to be able to get along and improve in this way.
I think, yeah, thank you, Antoine. I think we have to talk and together, and we have to make some plan, because we have the organ procurement committee and organ donation, and therefore, we have to put them all of this kind of activities under same umbrella, under the MESOT umbrella. But we have to talk together as an executive, and then of course we would like to help you, and we can do whatever you need. But it should be one umbrella, but different branch, and then we will discuss together tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
No, thank you. Yes, but then.
Now I will leave up to Dr. Karakali to tell us the Treasury report.
Good evening. I would like to present the Treasury's report for the period between April 30 to August 31, 2014. We have $287,884 which turnover from the preceding period. First of all, I would like to inform you what we did during the last 4-month period. We sent emails to 9 region councillors of MESOT, informed them about the unpaid members in the regions under their responsibility, and asked them to contact the unpaid members in their region to urge them to renew their memberships prior to the Congress, and remind them in keeping with the bylaws, any member who is unpaid for more than 2 years running will be removed from membership. After that, 34 regular members and 1 associate member paid their dues. So we collected $2,608 as membership due payments during this period. $200,000 of the MESOT money was in deposit account, so we had $970 as an interest yield. There was no outcome during this period. As a result, the bank deposit as August 31, 2014 is $291,534. As a footnote, 1 million dirham contributed for education and research activities by Highness Sheikha Fatima bin Mubarak during MESOT 2012. Abu Dhabi Congress was not transferred to MESOT account yet. And also, I would like to inform you about the payment status of our members. Currently, we have 399 members. 210 of them are lifelong members who do not pay annual membership fees, and remaining 3 associate and 2 candidate non-physician members and 184 regular members are responsible to pay their annual membership fees. Of these 189 members, only 40 of them have no dues. 45 of them have only dues for 2014. However, 104 of them did not pay for at least 2 years, including 2013. Thank you.
Do you have any question? There's a treasurer, it's very important, you should ask some question to Feza. You don't have any question? Well, earlier I mentioned about this members. We have mainly two types of member. One, lifelong member, and second, active member. When you check, let me see this. The list is really a little bit different. We have a lot of lifelong member, but
200.
unfortunately,
We need 200.
200, yeah, almost in the 200 lifelong member, but almost 50% the member, the lifelong member. But unfortunately, I can say the really low number of lifelong member in the participating meeting, which is not right. This society survive what the member activities. If your member is not active, you know, the society will not survive. This is first, and the second, this number of Mizat member, it is not enough, because it's the Mizat, this is the logo, you know. Şunu bir değiştirir misin çocuklar? Mezot'un logosunu koyar mısın oraya? What is it? Okay. Look at it. Hayır, logoyu koy kardeşim, bırak. Tamam. Look at this. It's, you know, two hand holding all of the Middle East area. Antoine, how many people live in all of this area? Half billion people living there. Only all together 500 or 400 member of the Mizat. It is not enough. And 50 of them is not really active. Therefore, you know, we have to increase the number of members. And the society should be one of the prestigious society in the world. Actually, at present, of course, it is prestigious society in the world, no question, but it is not enough. You know, we have to increase the number of members. And when you look at the list, for instance, that Jordan, President Mohammed, okay, 44 members here, but fortunately, around probably 26 Jordanians participated in this meeting. Thank you. Well, it's, we need, you know, at least do twice, okay? But anyhow, we have to work hard and, you know, increase the number of members because this is our society, not the you know, personal society. And the other important issue is registry. If you don't have a really registry, you will not give in the trustable number of your activities. Therefore, during your council meeting, we decided to have our past president and Marwan Masjid to chair the registry. Marwan, would you give some, you know, information about this?
So everybody agree on the present report?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Good evening.
It was transferred, according to Ali, it was transferred to your account on the 8th of September. Just
On September 8th?
Yes. That's what he told me before I come.
Money was transferred on September 8th.
Sorry. In order to have a registry and real registry, we have been only talking about numbers, not a real registry. However, in order to do a donation transplant system, we have to have a comprehensive system that takes into consideration the waiting list, the donor registry, the transplant registry, and the follow-up. And in order to have such a system, we need to put it together in at this type It's not going to be manual. It's going to be a web-based configuration where each center would have access with an access code, with a password and his own data. That data would be issued in a computerized system, and it can be filled from the time of the donor registry, the recipient registry, and the transplantation. It also takes into consideration not only to talking about a solid organ, it is also open for a soft tissue. And I know in the society we have now a committee for tissue and cell transplantation, and this is an active and ongoing program. So that is also going to be accommodated. So there are about 4 modules that are linked together, interlinked together. One of them is the donation module, the waiting list module, and the follow-up. And in the follow-up and in each one, it will have the whole characteristics. It has the medical record of the patient on the waiting list. It will have also the medical record of the patient who is already or of the donor, and it also would have the medical record of the patient who was transplanted and the follow-up. And that would mean that each center would have an access to what we call a virtual office. This virtual office is like your office or your computer system, and there are terminals that will be distributed among the centers. The software is linking all the centers together to a database that would be available at the Mesoth head office, and there would be professional people who take up this system. How can I? Okay, so there is the data about the donor, the hospital, the type, the personal data, and it also taking about the weight, the height. So everything that you will know about the donor would be available for you to enter it in there. And by doing this, we include also the traceability and the transparency of the system. And it would be also accessible to everybody who have an access code to be able to look at the system and to do any questions that you want. They would be automatically generate the number of transplant that has been done at every center, the origin of the donor, was it as a diseased donor, a live donor, and it will also tell you what is your survival rate. And this is very important. I know in many centers and many regions, they think that this is infringing on the privacy of the center or on the capability. But I tell you, it is not very complicated. It's a simple module, and it has been applied till now in Europe. It is applied in France. It's applied in Italy. It's applied in Spain. It's applied in Greece, Croatia, and many countries. So it tells you there is a module for the HLA typing, the blood grouping, and also the pre-sensitized patient. So it would be tell you the process of performing the surgical operation itself. It would be recorded, and it would also do the results that would happen. It's also available for those centers, and I know in Iran we have a biobank. There are many centers now that they have a bank. There is a biobank in Saudi Arabia. There are many biobanks in the UAE, in Lebanon, and all over. So it also tells you that what type of the tissues are stored, and then it would be shared among the centers if they want to share it, or they can keep it private to them. I think in order for us to be transparent, to have a proper registry, we should move from the idea of just having the numbers. And in many cases, the number, I tabulated the data for the registry 2 years ago, and unfortunately, I find a lot of discrepancy between the data was given by a center, all the data was given by the hospital or by the ministry. So it seems that we need, if we want to have a real registry, we should put a real registry. Having just the number is not really considered a registry. So we need your support, and we need your commitment for this, because we cannot enforce it. It has to be coming from you if you want to develop it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marwan.
If anyone wants to ask a question about it,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yes, go ahead, please.
The important question is, many people will ask you, and many centers, who will own the data? How the data will be the discretion, and it's extremely important because this is a concern of most people.
I agree.
So we have to have a way,
Exactly.
a transparent way.
The
The data is owned this way. This will be handled. So there'll be no question about it.
Yes, the owner of the data is actually, each center is the owner of his own data, and he is the one who puts the data on that list by using his only have an access code for him. It does not identify the center, let us say this hospital or that hospital. It's a code that is given, and they have a password. They can access it, and they can download their data on it, and they can take from the module only what they minimum data. Sometimes that you would like to fill the full data, but there is a minimum requirement, and that minimum requirement is not much. It's to talk about the type of the donor, the gender of the donor, the recipient, the HLA typing, the DSA, and everything. We saw today very magnificent lectures. Those magnificent lectures that you saw about the DSA and the end result, it was based on these web pages that were formed to know what's happening and how to follow up these patients.
Yeah, but people should be able to have access to the data of other centers, but in an anonymous way.
No, actually they cannot access other center data. That is only...
No, not what I'm saying, data, global data from different centers.
Yes, they can go without specifying the center. Yes,
yeah,
that's true. Each center is controlling
data and the global data.
Yes,
from the
yes. The global data, for instance, the statistic that comes out of them, if they want to know how many transplants center, what's the majority of the type of the blood group, the gender and everything, they can have access to that. But each center have his own data. It's only accessible to him or to the director, but not to be used.
Well, Marwan, I think important is contact people.
Yes, definitely. There is a contact people that has to, each center have, because it's a very simple issue to fill the field. It's only 10 pages, and these 10 pages are not writing. Sorry, it's not writing. It's just ticking. It's just a tick. Can I have the PowerPoint? I just want to show you in the PowerPoint how the system works. It's just you tick. It's not a real, it takes per donor or per recipient, it takes less than 5 minutes to fill in these forms. So it's not a very complicated system. It's a friendly system. It's easy to use, and it is universal. We are not recreating something. We are just acquiring something that works, and it is very highly developed, and it's very simple to use. But also, it gives you the opportunity also for your own record. So your own record would be with you all the time, and it would be also dumped to the international center, which is at Ankara, and that's where the statistics would come out and would tell you exactly what we are doing. Because Professor Hebral and myself, we were agonized, and we spent about 6 months going and owing all the data to be able to put it together. But the data we have discrepancy in the data between what we call verifiable and unverifiable. And we ended up in countries, we could not verify the data even as it was given, and we said we cannot verify it, and we did not include it. So it's very difficult if you do not cooperate.
Anyhow, in summary, registry is very important.
Yes.
And Marwan is responsible chair, and now we organize a new secretariat. Anytime you can contact our secretariat, it will be under the Nicole leadership, and therefore Marwan has to work hard. I'm sure Nicole will help a lot, and asking you, please, communicate it or register secretariat, as quickly and as much as possible. Thank you, Marwan.
Thank you.
Mona, during the 2012 meetings, there was some donation to MESAT for the research and scientific activities. So far, we couldn't get any action on. Would you give some information about this and what we are going to do, how we will manipulate it, this donation?
This donation was meant for the research in Mizot. And according to the information I received, that this money was transferred to the account of Mizot on the 8th of September. That's the information which I got. And then you have to, I mean, the way this money was spent has to be sent back to the Emirates so they will know exactly this money spent in what things. So it will be maybe maintenance of this money in the future. That's what.
I think it's better. The contact person should be there, or the treasurer, and if she take care of it, I think there shouldn't be any trouble, you know. And we have to know what we're going to do, how we will handle it, you know, this donation.
I think the Mizot has to decide, the council member has to decide, because it is for a research. So you have to offer 10 research or something. I don't know how you will divide the money for this research. It's according to the research, which will be presented to the council, and this research, if it is accepted by the council, then you will offer this money to this research, and somebody has to follow that this research is really done, and it's not just taking the money and then.
Of course, and they're always appreciated, you know,
Right.
for this donation. It is very important for the society or the scientific activity and research as well. I'm sure it's,
because I mean, I have experience with Hamdan Award. The Hamdan Award set a certain topics and ask people to do a research on these topics. So whoever put his proposal on these topics, then they will get the research after a committee meet and accept their proposal. This is how it is done with Hamdan Award. So if you want to do it the same way with Mizot Award or Quota Research Award, whatever.
just I let you know that this Dr. Malik Husseini and also our secretary, Antoine Barber, signed the letter to send them they say that thank you, they appreciate it, your help, and really this donation will be helpful to all the research activities as well. You know, if you want, and then you call it, you know, send it to you, this letter as well, as the copy, etc. We send them, we appreciate that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, any other things? Yeah? Those things? What? Nothing else? Any other question, comment about the past activities of the council or present activities, either society or this meeting? Really like to take in your opinion. Ahad, you'd like to say something? Amber? Is any of you? Well, it's if you don't have any comment, let me. Two things: everything is wrong, or everything is right. Both are not possible. Not is everything right, not is everything wrong. You know. So I know there's something. For instance, they printed certificate to this meeting, you know. So this Ali came to me, showed me that Dr. Abra, look at here. I couldn't realize that, believe me. And say that, where is the Istanbul name? You know, where is it was really something else. Sometimes you are missing. Probably, you know, during the oral activities, they missed, like This is example, of course. That means, any kind of our activities is not completely right, not is completely wrong. Therefore, we need your recommendation, your suggestion, any kind of suggestion or recommendation will be useful. Any of you? Adele? Would you give a little bit detail of 2016 meeting, Antoine?
Yeah, the way I said, I told them.
Would you little bit open it?
Okay.
Yeah.
There were a long discussion again regarding, the next Mizot Congress, and there were two countries really where did the bidding. It was Egypt and Jordan, and after again long discussion, there's a problem, as you all know, with the visa issuing to some of the participants from some countries like, Iranian, and maybe last time it was a problem also for the Syrian. So the concern of the Council that is to hold any Congress in any country where it will put exclusion and it will prevent some people from having access to the Congress. So we had a long discussion, and we decided with Dr. Rafat Kamal, who is a counselor from Egypt, that we will be sending a letter through him to him, official letter that we're granting the Congress to Egypt to conduct the Congress in 2016. And he will be forwarding this letter to the officials, concerned officials in Egypt, such as MOH, probably the Interior Ministry, to get some assurances, at least for the time being, that all participants will be able to participate without any exclusion for any country. And in case this is not achievable, then automatically the bidding will go to Jordan, and Jordan will be ready, and this will know, I hope, within the next 3 months, until the latest date will be December 2014. So we hope that it will go to Egypt, but if it cannot be done, then Jordan will be the next Congress.
I mean that it's whenever accept as a council, it's the answer from or the Egyptian colleague. We will decide on the council. It is not necessary to bring, if you are agree, it will not be necessary to bring the same topic to General Assembly.
No, of course.
Are you agree on?
You agree?
Yes? Okay.
But you want to...
Good evening. And I proposed to my friend, Dr. Rafat, that it is needed to do a test. You should have a small congress, a small meeting, and invite at least 10 Iranians to see who is the visa preparation, and if visa is issued, we are ready to continue to the Egyptian Congress, but Mizot Congress in Egypt. But is not possible, we can transfer the Egypt to Jordan.
Well, yes, sir.
We have made a bidding from Qatar. Has it been considered?
Well,
we have submitted a bidding from Qatar to be the venue for the 2016. Has been considered, or,
Well, it's actually deadline was really over. When we received the application.
Well, as far as I know, it was.
But anyhow,
no
if
problem.
you are ready, let me tell you something.
No.
If you are ready to have the Mizot meeting, we'll be very much happy maybe it will not be this time, but next time, no question that they will have the meeting in Qatar,
Okay.
no question.
Thank you very much.
This is actually very important. This is very important for the society. Well,
Well, because
you know,
if you are talking about visa, I'm
Yeah.
sure that we have no problem there.
well,
Thank you very much.
thank you, really. It's, because we really like to have it, our scientific meeting, every country in the Middle East, but step by step. And please wait your time. I really appreciate it. This is this enthusiasm very important for future of the society. Thank you so much. Well, and once again, I really like to thank all of you, but really, congratulations, my great friend, and, you know, Malek Husseini, and they've done an excellent job, not only for society, he is doing excellent job in Shiraz with all Iranian colleagues as well. Congratulations, especially your recent legislation. Now, you know, I'm sure you received the email from the Malek and our Iranian colleague. That is now they will not accept any foreign people to do transplantation in Iran. It is very important. Not only our region, I think it's an excellent example for all over the world, because organ trading is terrible, not acceptable. Yes, yes, Ali. Madam, would you take the microphone, please?
May I ask you, Professor Haberal, before closing the table, as a memorial picture, we have gathered together and take a picture with all of us. Picture.
Picture, photo.
Of course, yes,
I
of
want
course.
All of us
to say
gather
some
there and
words.
take a picture.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Habral, for his marvelous hospitality. Who has believed that Professor Habral was last year in the custody and 2 years? He is the president of Mezot again, as very active and energetic. I wish a very fine prosperity for you and for all our Mezot participants, and I hope in near future the Mezot will be the best society in the globe.
It is now really one of the best society, believe me, Malek. And I know it, you know, I'm a member many of society in the world. But believe me, this is a unique society in the world. Unfortunately, there's a lot of, you know, the political action we are facing. And, you know, the participated in the, or, you know, the society's activities. But the society is really a unique society. There is nothing for personal, it's regional. No one, including the council member or the member of the society, think about the personal benefit or goal to improve healthcare facilities, either our country or our region as well. Thank you. I really thank you, all of you. And once again, and congratulations, Malek, and our team, you know, secretaries, treasury, and member from the council. And thank you and appreciate. And I'm sure we will be more active and more successful. Thank you, Malek.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can stand all here.
No, I think better.
Yeah.
Why don't you come here?
doesn't matter.
Zayıf çıkacağız şimdi.
Shiraz always. Yes,